Right, Chris.
Yeah.
Next topic and final topic. So basically, we're breaking our routine of three podcast episodes, three parts in an episode because there's so much to talk about, and we kind of narrowed
Yeah.
it down. Last one is what was the most surprising game of E3,
Ooh,
Chris, in terms of reveal?
that's tough. Ooh, reveal. Do I have to pick just one?
Depends what your one is at the minute. I might give you
Uh,
another.
well,
Go
cause
on. Okay, I'll give you two. I'll
two.
give you two.
Okay. My two. The first is Metroid Prime 4. I was so surprised by that. Nintendo, man, people have been begging Nintendo. The last to give you guys, as a refresher, the last Metroid Prime 3 came out on Wii 2007, 10 years ago. And for 10 years, fans have been like, Metroid Prime 4, come on, give it to us. We want it. Wii U gets announced. Metroid Prime 4, we want it. HD, now. Please, now. Nintendo would always say something like, oh, no, no, no. Metroid Prime was a trilogy. We're done with it. Retro Games is working on. Retro Games, I think they're called, right? Yeah, they're working on something else right
I
now, and
think so,
that
yeah.
something else was Donkey Kong, which was great, by the way. And even after Donkey Kong, they were like Metroid Prime 4 now they're done with Donkey Kong now. And they would be like they're working on something else right now. Don't worry about it. And you could tell, dude, this was a very early announcement because it was like the most teaser of teaser trailers. It was just the title of the game, and it said now in development on Nintendo Switch, and it's like okay, this is great. It's coming. It was like when they announced Final Fantasy VII remake at Sony. For me, it was that equivalent of a surprise. I never thought we'd get a Metroid Prime, especially
Mm,
after I didn't think, man, because Metroid Other M came out, and I thought it was a cool game, but everyone apparently hated that game, and and I thought, oh well, if they ever make another game, it'll be something else. It won't be called Metroid Prime 4, but it'll be something else, something like a Metroid game that reinvents the wheel, but in a different way. And no, they straight up gave it to us, and I was so shocked by that. Um, I was like, "Whoa, that's huge!" And that really surprised the crap out of me, man.
hmm
From Nintendo's POV. The second game, that was my biggest, like, a big game reveal. And dude, this is gonna be an interesting one, but I'm gonna say Wolfenstein 2, the New Colossus. And why I'm saying this
Right.
is, and dude, why I'm saying this
Hang,
is, huh?
hang on.
Sure.
This was my reveal as well, so
Fuck,
we'll
really? Oh
talk about
God, I'm
this.
sorry, dude. I'm sorry.
No, 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 no. Go on. We'll talk about this now because it gives a bit of room for us both to talk about it. Go on.
Okay,
I'm gonna
okay.
let you go first.
Well, because I'll go quick, and I'll tell you why I'm going to go quick. Because I've actually never played the first Wolfenstein. I was so impressed by this trailer. It looks so cool. It just looks so fun and so interesting in this alternate, world where the Nazis won. That I remember I was talking to Matt Mobley, a friend that Ad and I know, on Slack, and he was like, "Oh my God, Wolfenstein 2, this is so great." And I'm like, "Man, I've never played the first one." He's like, "You've never played it? You need to play it." And I asked him, "Is the first game like this? Like, is the story like how this trailer is being depicted?" He's like, "Yes." I literally went to Amazon.com, found a $14 used copy of the game, and bought it. 2 days later, I got it on Wednesday, and I'm playing it right now, and it's phenomenal. I love it. I think it's such a
Mm.
great game, and I'm so excited for. That was a big reveal for me, man, when they showed Wolfenstein 2, because it got me to play it did what they hope sequels do. It gets you interested in checking out that series, and yeah, so that was kind of like my take. I think you have a more interesting
Mhm.
take because you've fully completed the first game.
I've completed the expansion as well,
Yeah, yeah,
platinums in
the
both of them. But every time someone ever asks me, it's like, Adnan, what would you recommend as a first-person shoot game to play? The first game I'd say in my head is Wolfenstein: The New Order. The New Order is one of the best FPS games I've ever played since Call of Duty 4 and BioShock.
wow.
It is fantastic. I think that game is the most underrated game of the year I've ever seen. Like, it is fantastic. And I'm not tooting its horn just for the sake of it. Wolfenstein, The New Order, and The Old Blood. The Old Blood's all right, but The New Order is absolutely phenomenal because it has such a great, it doesn't have to put a multiplayer component in there just to prove a point. Like, it is just full on story mode and it's got a great set of characters, cast. storytelling abilities. It's got everything. It's got really good like charm to it, and they've done it really well because like with BJ Blazkowicz, a great main character. There's great scenes in the first game in the sense of New Order. These are based on other games as well.
Yeah.
The New Order has some great humor in it as well. It's in the deepest, darkest point in history that we're talking about as well. The Second World War, in the 20th century history, in the sense that, World War II, Nazis and everything else, but they still find some kind of like humor in there with like some of the jokes that they do. But when I saw it, I was like, thank God for this, because I was not expecting Wolfenstein 2 to be at E3, at Bethesda's E3, because I was like, this is unreal. I was so excited to see it. I saw the trailer. I think the trailer probably spoiled a bit of the story for you as well.
Yeah.
In terms of the first game.
The ending. I told Matt, like, oh man, but I don't want to spoil it for anyone listening, but I was like, man, that kind of like, I know now that BJ Blazkowicz, is that how you say it?
Blazkowicz.
Oh, BJ. BJ is kind of in a very...
BJ if you want.
Yeah, BJ's in a compromising situation at the end of the first game. And I was kind of bummed out about that. Matt was like, well, dude, you don't know how he gets there. And I'm like, all right. So, I'm still enjoying it. It hasn't taken away from that.
Mm-hmm. No, I thought it was fantastic. I was very excited for it. I'm so stoked for it. And I think they will do really great things with it. That was my most surprising one, but I will take a page out of your book. The other ones I was excited for was The Evil Within 2, even though I've been very hard on The Evil Within 1 because it was a bit ludicrous. But the thing is that with The Evil Within 1, it wasn't necessarily that the formula was wrong. The scary part was good, and Shinji Mikami has come a long way since Resident Evil 4. It was just the story was a bit for a horror game. And the thing is that with horror, it's such a weird genre because it has to be a complete package in video games. The gameplay has to be great, the graphics need to look good, and also the story needs to be excellent because it all kind of like go in hand to telling a great horror game. And I think that they are carrying over the first game with Sebastian being the main character. But I'm just like, they really need to refine it. The story was just all over the place with the Evil Within 1. You'll see it if you play it. I think you should recommend playing it as well because you are a Resident Evil fan as well, Chris, and Mikami did make the first Resident Evil as much as you hate the fourth one as well.
Yeah, I've seen gameplay because I've never played the first one. I did like the trailer though for the sequel. I thought it was a really cool trailer, and I loved the cover song that they played. But
he's very good at making trailers. I'll give him that, Mikami. Very good. I thought it was a great trailer. When I saw it, I was like, what is this? And I was like, oh, it's Evil Within 2. I was like, how did I not even see this?
Yeah, no, it looks great. Oh, I do have I have two honorable mentions that I want to make for things that surprised me. The remake of Shadow of the Colossus was a huge surprise. And also when they announced Metroid Samus Returns, the 3DS 2D Metroid game that's a remake of Metroid 2, those are honorable mentions. Those were pretty big surprises.
How long did it take you to rehearse that sentence? Because it must have taken ages. About a Metroid 2 remake of like on the 3DS and like. I will close out though my final one. It wasn't shown there, but the announcement of Nintendo's Pokemon game for Switch, core Pokemon game.
Yeah, that they literally were just like, "Hey, we're doing it." We're like, "Whoa!"
I thought it was a great way of doing it as well because it wasn't like we need to show a trailer. So it was like we are making a core Pokemon game for the Switch. I was like, boom, drop the mic. Here we go. I was like, right. I was like, I need to Switch at some point. I'm like,
that's like the first. That's like the first technically speaking, the first home console Pokemon game in a way. Because when you dock the Switch, it's gonna have that big beefy. Man, this is their chance to really make something special. I hope they go all out.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I mean. It just sounds like amazing, and it could be unbelievable as well. So it's like that definitely up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's it for this week's episode. Sorry for the full-on gaming news, but it has been a full-on gaming week. I think in the next couple of weeks as well, you'll probably see we change as well because the gaming industry does kind of tend to go a little bit quiet now leading up to the summer period, then with the conferences coming up. But thank you for joining us. Thank you, Chris, as well for lending us your voice.
Of course.
Now.
I'm glad it held up. I was very worried about it, but I think I'm good, man. This tea helped.
I am too as well. We've always had this problem with like people losing their voices. But thank you for joining us on this episode. Be sure to follow us on Facebook at Podcast Go and also on Twitter as well, which is at Podcast Go. And you'll find all these episodes as well on YouTube. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Take care, guys.